Hi, my name is Adnan Hasbi, and I'd like to wish you guys a warm welcome to another episode of Rambling of an Analyst. At the end of this episode, or the main objective of this episode, is to teach you guys what is a stock and what is the number one rule I have with regards to investing in stock. One of the reasons why I've created this particular episode is that I've been receiving a lot of questions with regards to what stocks to invest in, and I am breaking this answer into maybe 2 or 3 episodes. That way, whatever I left out in this particular episode, I can maybe recap that what I left out in this episode to the next episode and the episode after that. So stay tuned for this maybe 2 or 3 part series, and yeah, let's move on. So the first thing I would like to say is that investing when I first started investing, it was a scary thing. And like I told some of you guys, back in the day when I used to look at the stock market and when I look at the investing platforms, I would see all these random alphabets like AAPL or GOOGL or DNEX or all of these random alphabets, and it was a very daunting thing. It felt like I was trying to figure out a different language. And yeah, I spoke in English and the platform maybe spoke to me in financial-ish or something. So, and we saw red boxes, green boxes, arrows going up and going down. So I know how you guys feel. And I guess that's one of the reasons why in this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's a stock. So we need to go to the very basic, very fundamental thing. And then later, I'm going to share with you a very, relatively powerful advice which I got in my investing career. And this is what helped me guide me in my investing process. So to begin, what is a stock? With regards to this, let us imagine there are 2 people. There is Ali and also Abu, right? They are very good friends. You can see them just like hanging out and whatnot. So Ali is a person which has a bit of money and Abu has a bit of skills, right? So what happened was one day post-pandemic, Abu was let off from his job and he wanted to pursue his passion, which is making tea, right? And in the first month of starting his operations, not many people went to his shop. Not many people knew about his shop. In fact, they would just pass by and, his shop seems to be invisible. Month 2, what happened was people in their morning rush, they started looking at that shop. It was like, you know what, let us give this tea shop a try. And all of a sudden, we can see these tables being filled up with people. On top of that, there's a little line. And as months went on, his shop got more and more popular, and more people found out about his shop. So this is month 3, where his shop could not take any more people at all. It was just full. Everyone was lining up. They wanted to maybe taste his tea, and he's getting more and more popular. So basically, what happened was when his shop became very popular, Ali then sees this, right? Him being his best friend and everything. So one day, Ali then offers $100,000 of his money for 50% of shares in Abu's tea stall. So this essentially is what a stock is. A stock is a share for a particular business. And the number one rule which I always have before I invest in a company is that I ask myself whether this business makes sense, number 1. And number 2, is the earnings for this particular business, do I think is going to go up, right? So one of the reasons why I keep telling you guys to maybe read your newspapers, so the Edge newspaper, is that from reading all of these things, we will get ideas, or from going through internet articles, or from going to newspapers. This will help us get a sense of how certain businesses are doing. So when we read stuff, we have to have an end goal in mind, which is we have to always ask ourselves, does this news affect what company? And if it does affect that particular company, will the profit go up for that particular company, right? So these are the things we should ask ourselves. So with regards to this small little story, since I'm already telling you halfway, what happened was Ali invested $10,000 for 50% stake in Abu's tea stall. And eventually what happened was they built, this was the old table, which was done in red. And the new stall is highlighted in green, where they increased the size of the stall. On top of that, they put more tables and chairs. And what eventually happened was, before, when Abu had 100% stake in the company, or the tea stall, they used to make 2,000 ringgit per month. Right now, after the investing of 10,000 ringgit, the profit actually shot up, right? So Abu and Ali, since they both have 50% stake in this particular company, we could see that 7,000 we divided into 50-50, whereby Abu will get 3,500 ringgit and Ali will get 3,500 ringgit. So I guess in a nutshell, what I'm basically trying to say is that once you invest in a particular company, let us imagine if you invest in this tea stall, right? Ask yourself, as a small stakeholder, since shares, we only own a very small fraction of the company, we have to ask ourselves if the business is expected to do good in the coming future. And if the business is expected to do some good, what may happen is that there may be an appreciation of the stock price. So, so as I mentioned to you, this is the number one investment tip which I got. And so during this pandemic, let me recap. In fact, I've already talked about this in the previous episodes. And we could see that during this pandemic, what happened was, Amazon, I think it was March 2020, I think. Yeah, March 2020. So I can see a lot of this stock price actually fell, and then after that it shot up. So we can see that one of the reasons why Amazon rose is that a lot of people were stuck at home. They started shopping online. And once people started shopping online, what will happen is that Amazon's profit will also indirectly increase. The same with Google, which owns YouTube. Since a lot of us are going online more, we are visiting websites, and we are also going on YouTube. What will happen is that we saw the demand of these products offered by Google increase. So Google owns YouTube and also the Google search engine. On top of that, we could also see Netflix. All of them we could see about almost 2 times their initial investments if we invested in these companies. So it's 2 times, almost, yeah. Okay, so this is the philosophy I had. And yes, one of the subscribers actually asked me, actually reminded me of my stock pick. And they were like, hey, how do you pick stocks like Perak Transit? So I actually went on Google stocks. I googled the stock price for Perak Transit. To my surprise, I actually bought this stock for about 18 cents, and this was one of my earlier episodes. Today is about 80 cents. Yeah, I almost kind of fainted when I saw this particular stock price. Yeah, I mean, wow, that's kind of amazing. And another thing was another one of my subs actually asked me with regards to Dagang Next. At one time I held it at 0.21, 0.215, right? And today it is 94 cents. So it is almost 4.4 times the initial value since I invested in these companies. So what do all these stocks have in common? Or basically is this. My investment philosophy is always I ask myself, does this business make sense? Do I expect the profits for this company to go up in the coming months ahead? And since for me, I expected less people traveling on airlines, so they needed a way to travel, and I assume it was bus. And then with regards to Dagang Next, I could see that the government is pushing towards digitalizations of many businesses. And if more businesses were to digitalize themselves, what's going to happen is they need digitalized consultants, I guess. And that's one of the reasons why Dagang Next came on my radar. So yeah, I know it's a 10-minute episode. I keep telling myself I want to actually shorten episodes and make it more concise. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell of how I invest in stocks and how I stock pick. In the next episode, we're going to go even deeper into what routines I take in order for me to pick a particular stock, right? So it's nice to talk about, you know, all of these stocks, but I think the next thing we should ask ourselves is what small actions can we take to enable us to find these stocks. So I'm going to tell you in the next episode. I think this episode is a bit too draggy. In the next episode, I'm going to tell you guys how I actually observe things around me, what I read, when I read, you know, what particular mindsets I have. So I'm going to discuss that in the next episode. And also, I also talked to some of the subs. I am going to start doing some research in the coming weeks ahead. I do apologize if I took a small little break. Yeah, after I sold off Dangang Next for a bit of profit, I actually took a small break. So yeah, anyway, I digress. So with that, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. If not, ask me a bunch of questions if you have any questions. And I do appreciate you guys reaching out to me, talking to me personally. And like I said, I'm always here to help. So I hope to see you guys in the next episode.